Benvenuti in questa nuova puntata di My Folks Podcast. Oggi si realizza un grande sogno. Mi trema la voce nel dire chi abbiamo qui di fronte, ma oggi è con noi il mitico, il grande, un'icona, Ronn Moss. Benvenuto.
Grazie. It's good to be here.
Ci aiuterà a tradurre un'amica del cuore, Loretta. Grazie Loretta di essere qui ad aiutarci. Loretta Carter, giusto? Allora Ronn, partiamo con una domanda. So che abiti in Italia per qualche mese all'anno. Perché? Cosa ti piace dell'Italia?
Why do I like Italy? I like Italy. Mi piace Italia because I have been coming here for over 40 years, but only for una settimana, 2 settimane, top, at a time, per volta. Never enough time to really feel Italia. So now I can come and stay for 5 mesi and really experience Italy. And I fell in love with Puglia.
Ok. Quando torni in America, cosa racconti ai tuoi amici americani delle cose che vedi in Italia?
So when you return back to US, what do you say to your friends about Italy and your experiences?
We do enough social media where people back in the United States, they know what we're doing. And they're a little jealoso there of us spending so much time in Italy. They see us everywhere. We literally are from the sud to the north, and every other day we're somewhere else, and so they're a little geloso. But they go, how is it in Italy? And we go, it's great. It's really great. One, and I'll give you the obvious reason. Is it okay to just talk? Okay.
Okay.
The obvious reason is the food, which is very, very important. Your food here is much different than the food in the United States. The food in the United States is merde. I say that in all honesty. I wish it wasn't, but it is. They allow too many horrible things in the United States, and you don't allow those here. You don't allow GMOs, you don't allow fake meat, you don't allow all the chemicals in the products. They allow that in the United States. We're trying to change that, but it takes time. So when we come here, we know we're going to be a lot healthier. Sorry, that was a long-winded response.
No, ok. Ho un po' di curiosità perché non mi ricapiterà più nella vita di avere davanti Ronn Moss.
I'm a bit curious because in my lifetime I won't have you in front of him in my lifetime. So.
Tu sei stato e sei ancora un sex symbol. Nel 2024, dal tuo punto di vista, esistono ancora i sex symbol?
So you've been a sex symbol in your lifetime and you still are. Do you think that a sex symbol is still around in our lifetime?
I'm gonna have to go with no. I know people will go, whoa, why does he say that? I don't think that is as relevant now as maybe years ago. I think it's more relevant to have a more substantial vibration than just being a sex symbol. I don't consider myself that. I don't even think about that. That's not relevant to me. There are many more important things in the world now than that. So that's where I'm going. I don't need to be a sex symbol or a symbol for anything other than just a good vibration of the world moving forward and getting more together.
Quando ti è venuto in mente di creare un gruppo rock e iniziare a girare l'Italia o anche l'Europa con il tuo gruppo rock? E quali gruppi ti hanno ispirato per crearlo?
When did you start playing music, and when did you start to tour with your band, and what groups have inspired you in your lifetime?
I started at 11 anni with percussion, drums.
Okay.
And I wanted to be Ringo.
Okay.
I wanted to be Ringo. And the Beatles were a big influence on me, and I would build my drums out of cardboard boxes and just play boxes. It was funny. But I bought a very inexpensive set of drums at 11 years old, and we had the drums, a clarinet, and a piano. We were a trio. And we would play at the parties around the neighborhood. It was fun. And then I graduated to guitarra, and then eventually basso. My sister brought home an old bass, basso, funky bass, and I took that out of her hands. It was the end of her career and the beginning of mine, because I could sing and play basso.
Okay.
It was easier than drumming and singing back then. We didn't have these. This was non-existent. It had to be right here. So with the microphone, it didn't work with drums. So I could sing and play bass, and so bass became my primary rock and roll instrument. The second part was, when did my group start? I had many groups. The first group was called Count Zeppelin and the Fabled Airship.
Ah, okay.
This is way before Led Zeppelin. Count Zeppelin and the Fabled Airship. We were 13.
Guarda.
There we go. We were 13 years old. 13 years old. Playing with groups like the Jefferson Airplane,
Oh, okay.
Peanut Butter Conspiracy, Taj Mahal, a whole set of groups, and we were 10 anni prima all these other people, these other musicians. In the late 70s, I formed a band called Player. Player was 1977, 78, 79, 80. And we had a song that shot to #1 called Baby Come Back. And that gave us a good ability to tour with Eric Clapton, with Hart, with Boz Scaggs, Gino Vanelli. So that started that. And then the groups that influenced me, let's start with the Beatles. But before the Beatles, it was surf music.
Oh.
Dick Dale.
Eagles.
It's before the Eagles. Dick Dale, oh God. Also jazz. Dave Brubeck Trio.
Okay.
Who else? God, there's so many people. And then there's, of course, Elvis and Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis and all the rock and roll that took over my influence. But let's start with the Beatles and the Stones, and then we have Supertramp and Queen and the Eagles and Genesis, and I have so many groups, it would take too long. Your podcast would go about 2 hours.
Quali sono i suoi progetti futuri con la band?
What's your future plans with your band?
I have my band in Italy, which is great. These gentlemen are excellent, amazing musicians. And we're hoping to expand out of Italy to other countries. Next year, we're already planning on Albania. and Greccia.
Breccia.
And I'll be going to Finland to do yet some more other projects and other countries. I'm branching out to other countries in Europe. But I have another group in America called Ron Moss's Player. My group that I had in the 70s, only it's now another version. It's my version there. Continuing with touring, continue with performing live, but mostly I'm going to be writing music for the new film projects that I'm doing now. We have 5 in pre-production now. So between the film, combining the music, those are 2 of my big artistic loves, film and music. So we're going to pursue making our new films, continuing our tour in Italy here, and then I'll continue that in the USA when I return. Next year is another sequence of concerts and film and lots of projects. I like being creative, so I'll just continue that energy of creativity.
Ok, facciamo l'ultima domanda. Che cos'è per Ron Moss il lusso?
What is luxury for Ron Moss?
Oh, I have a lot of luxuries. Luxury for me is the simple stuff of life. Getting up in the morning and going in and actually having hot water to take a shower is a luxury. I appreciate that so much. Having the proper food to eat is a luxury. Having a nice, quiet time in bed is a luxury. I look at everything as a luxury. I look at the people around me having the vibration that we share being a luxury. And probably the biggest, I can call it a luxury, but it's more of I'm in gratitude for these things. Health. Health is the ultimate luxury, and we need to do everything we can to preserve that. Time is a luxury. Don't waste it.
Signore e signori, Ron Moss, Loretta, My Thoughts Podcast, grazie.
Grazie. Grazie.